Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Love to hear some of these tracks you've chosen.
Yeah, it's not so much about the tracks, it's about the record themselves and the story of them in one way or the other. So what we're starting with is something quiet. It's Ballaké Sissoko and Vincent Segal. It's a record from France called Musique de Nuit, Night Music. And it's from a label that I like very much called No Format. I think we can maybe spin it and then talk about it after.
Sure. What track you going on?
Just the first one.
Opener?
Yeah.
Love a first track.
Actually, I think it's side B, but yeah, first track on side B. It's called Diabaro.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
Allah Devi Joso Allah Devi Joso Konitora Lako Allah Devi Joso Devi Joso, Diabaro Masa Devi Joso, Konitora Lako, Ala Devi Joso.
Cora?
Yep.
Kongo manjugu nari de gajugu, nari manjugu bana de gajugu, bana manjugu saya de gajugu, saya manjugu koto de gajugu, Allah mando ame, Diabaro masa mando kocho sijiye.
No, I just wanted to highlight the fact that it's a Western musician, a cellist, and a Malian musician who's playing the kora, traditional Onandon harp, African harp. And you can quite hear both of them right now. And on top of it, there is a singer called Babani Kone.
Juju na mambima, ani jaja na mambima, na makoro senga mani na makoro bolo kamba, koni suruku tu kera nyodu fenyi, mabakoro kute kono gesa ngo demi seninchini, salamo kara, salana sinikara, kara koro fila manyo walawli. Jikalama file manyogo sogi waraba saba maboda kelena nyani manjugu ne wala nyani manjugu kungode ajo Johnson, Diabaro Masa Devi Johnson, Bonidora Lago, Alla Devi Johnson.
That's cool.
And there we go. Yeah, I thought we started with something quiet, more intimate, which with the sound of the waves
lapping against the shore
might be a little bit difficult to hear. Yeah, so there you go.
So a Malian kora player?
Yep.
The vocalist?
Ballaké Sissoko, and a vocalist who's also Malian called Babani Kone. And I chose this record because of the label, really, as well as the record itself.
No format?
No format.
When was this released? Do you know roughly?
2015. And so No Format has a very interesting story. It's a record label based in Paris, which works with jazz, hip hop, live music. Like word music. I say word music. I don't really like this term, but word music, I guess. And so music from around the world.
Not Western music.
Not Western music, and lots of African musicians, but not just. And they have a very unique way to produce their records. Is that you're a subscriber to the record company, so you don't know what you're buying in advance. You just know you're supporting a creative etiquette, and you're trusting the curation that is going to be supporting something that you like and is worthwhile supporting. And you receive in the post records or CDs.
Like yearly subscription?
Yeah, so it's a yearly subscription. So you get about 2, 3, 4 records a year. You get invites to shows if you are around where the shows happen. And they really have a really great quality of artists. I really recommend to have a look at what they're doing.
And they're still running?
Still running. They've been running for over 10 years. 20 years, I think. I think they just did a recent 20 years anniversary, and they have a beautiful. It's a whole universe. Like you can't probably see from here.
Great artwork.
Lots of artwork. Lots of.
Give us a quick flick through. Like what do you find when you open the?
Oh, you can't open.
No, the booklet.
Oh, there's just it. But I guess it's really in depth and detailed, beautiful ethos. And they have a range of musicians that they played with they recorded with a few times, but yeah, it's always new, always interesting, and it's the sort of thing that major label companies would not necessarily support, or if you're an independent one, you'd struggle to find funds to actually support the project behind. So I really like them, and I've been a supporter for many years, on and off, but they always do really interesting music. I strongly recommend to look at everything they do.
Nice. No format.
No format. N-O format.
All right. Okay.
Next one.
Have you ever played a kora?
No, I never played I guess I tried, but not really.
But you've held one.
I've held one. It's quite light, actually. It's a beautiful instrument. What I love about the kora is that there is 21 strings, said to be 7, 7, 7, so three set of sevens, one for the past, one for the present, and one for the future. And it's played by griot. I don't know how you say in English, in Malian culture, Bambara and so on. And it's a special role in society, and it's a special instrument somehow. It's got it's a role of carrying stories, which I don't, even though I don't understand the language, somehow captures something, I think, quite powerful. So Ballaké Sissoko is a wonderful artist. He does all sorts of things, which I recommend as well to listen to. And Vincent Segal is a well-known cellist who played with a famous, I guess, pop star called M, French guy. Anyway, beautiful musician as well. Record 2? You know this one.
I'm laughing because I called you and said, do you have the Shaka Zulu album? And you're like, no. So I bought it for you, even though you recommended it to me.
Yeah.
Thinking you wouldn't have it for some reason.
Ladysmith Black Mambazo, Shaka Zulu. I think it's been classified one of the greatest albums of all times by some magazines or whatever.
One of those lists. Imagine if you dropped the record through the gap.
Well, I get you to get me a spare one.
I got one. He's the one I prepared earlier.
Great band from South Africa. And I chose that record because it's a record that is special to my heart for my wife Helen and for my son Emil, who loves it. And it's when he's like
moody,
crying or distressed in the car or somewhere else, we put Ladysmith Black Mambazo. It's a soothing music.
When what do you call it? When I had my I had my hernia operation. You recommended it to me to listen to, and I think somewhere between the opioids and how great the music was, it was really good.
Yeah, I think it's just it's got a lot of soul, and you just it takes you somehow. I don't know. And I've chose track 2 of side 1, which is Hello My Baby, because that's one we sing.
Perfect.
To Emil. Oh, I have to aim.
It's like standing at the urinal.
Oh my god, it's hard.
Hey baby, hey beautiful girl. Say. Hey baby, hey beautiful girl. Hey baby, hey. Say. Hey baby, hey beautiful girl. Come along to kiss me. Before them go, come along to kiss me, nice. Before them go, don't you kiss me, nice. Before them go, come along. You. Don't you meditate? Say. Don't you meditate? I send a messenger to tell you that I want to meet you at the station. Come along to kiss me. Before I'm going, come along to kiss me. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Before I'm going, don't you kiss me, nice. Before I'm going, come along. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweet. Hello, my sugar. Hello, my baby. Hello, my love. Hello, my baby. Hello, my love, baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my chocolate. Hello, my baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sugar. Hello, my sugar, baby. Hello, my hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my sweetheart. My sweet chocolate. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetheart. My sugar, baby. Hello, my baby. Hello, my sweetheart. Hello, my baby. Don't you meditate? Say. Don't you meditate? I send a messenger to tell you that I want to meet you at the station.
I want to meet you in the station.
I love the like stabs, like violin stabs there.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I mean, I'm not a specialist by any means, but I think there is a part of that is that Zulu singing with and the language. We know there is sounds in the language that and things like that.
Yeah.
That really is a very dynamic language. This whole record is so soulful. It's 1987. I was just looking at it before. Beautiful cover as well, and one of my most listened album at the moment for sure, with Helen and Emile. Shaka Zulu. And you got.
If you ever need a second copy.
Yeah, you got a copy.
I keep seeing it now. I keep seeing every time I go
it's
through.
a classic.
Every time I go through like the African section at this record store I go to, I always see it, and I'm like, should I just get another one just in case?
If you
Just in
give it
case
to
you
someone, you're making a good deed.
That's a good idea.
It's a great present, and yeah. Anyway.
To give sort of context to our friendship, I feel like you came. Well, I knew you just as like a colleague, a fellow student.
Yep.
And then you kind of like properly came into my life as I was getting into world music. So I feel like it all kind of makes sense. Timing.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I can contribute, but you contributed too, and you sent some, great stuff as well since we met. So I think it's an exchange. That's the thing, which is, I guess, perhaps here in Australia a little bit hard to find. It's not that it's impossible, but you got to dig a bit further to be able to find those connections of people that are like-minded with that openness to not understanding the lyrics or the music aesthetic, just to get taken by what it feels like, and then take it from there.
I'll say something along those lines when you get to one of your later selections.
You know what I've selected?
Well, I only saw it because it was the bottom.
It's the last one.
And it's quite a pivotal one, I guess.
Oh, what a tease!
Pivotal one for this whole journey, and I guess our friendship. And
yeah, well, it had to be in the selection. But anyway, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So, shall I go to the next one?
Yeah.
I don't know if I introduced you to this one before.
Never seen it.
If I hadn't introduced you to it before, you would never have seen it for sure. So this is a self-produced record by a band called The Builders, which is a band of which my uncle was part of.
You've told me about this. You've told me, I don't know if you've played it.
So good luck to find it online, because I don't think it exists.
I think we're about to drive the prices up.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. It's a reggae band from the 80s from my village in France called Chadury. And my uncle Pierre, who's here on the record, they're all African but him. And the light makes him look like he's African, but he's actually not African. He's my uncle.
Can we get a zoom? Let me get it.
He's designed the cover as well. He's a percussionist, musician, does all sorts of things. But anyway, and that's a record that just has followed me around. It was around because he had like many copies. Like you self-produced, you got hundreds at home because you haven't sold it to anyone. Let's listen to it. I think.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be interesting to put it online. So we'll put. So the name of the album is called Minka Hwee. Most of the musicians were from or are from Western Africa. They lived near my village in France, and it's produced literally in a bedroom, I guess. But in the 80s, you got to think about that. There was
no computers.
No, it's all it's done properly. And
Here we go. Let's check the aim.
Let's have a look.
That's all right.
Here we go. Very crackling by fireplace.
sounds 80s.
Recorded live in Dordogne, in France, in July '86.
You were born at this time?
I was born there. And I remember when I was a kid, hanging around in the, our village or whatever, and having these like big band of African men, and they were really extravagant looks, I don't know, not extravagant, but they just looked so different and felt so different, and felt being like, not in awe, but kind of like intimidated and intrigued at the same time.
That horn sound is so 80s.
The language, actually. I think they were from, some of them were from Guinea, maybe? I feel like we're coming back.
It's a long outro.
I just think it's interesting to imagine a band like this in France in the 80s, where there was no one like them
in a small town,
like in a small village that would sort of, I mean, there would be in bigger cities, but it's really the countryside. You to think about how different this was, and I guess alternative, I don't know, but yeah. I let it fade down properly.
Do you think he's still friends? Do you know if he's still friends with these people?
I think he, some of them, I think one or two, yeah, I think so. But not, I mean, I don't think they see each other or anything regularly.
Not
but,
making music or anything?
No, they're not, no, definitely not. But yeah, Minkashi, Hwee, H-Y-E-E, The Builders. Good luck to find that one. I don't know if that was a good track to choose. There was lots of other ones. It's yeah, a very different. I think it's a record that I just think is such a good achievement to do this in this context with what they had at the time. So
how old were you when you first heard it? Did you say?
I don't know, but I was born in '84. This was recorded in '86. So
Your first like memory of it?
I don't remember seeing them live. I don't think. I was too young, and I think it stopped. I don't know when it stopped, but you know, it didn't last for years. This record was always around. My parents had them, my uncle had them, my grandmother had them. You know, it was just around, and it's just, you know, you imagine my grandmother's collection of Beethoven records and tango and some other things, and then you got this group of African dudes doing some reggae. You know, it's and produced, recorded, you know, everything sort of done by my uncle, who's a character in my family. Yeah, I think it was I don't know, it's always grabbed my interest. I wouldn't say it's why I love reggae because yeah, but it's got a story linked to my family and to memories, and when you asked me to choose the records, it was really hard, and I didn't choose, as I said, songs. I've got many other records where I would have, you know, have other songs that I would choose before this. But I think this record has a story interesting for me. Anyway, that's
what it's about.
There you go.
I've heard you in a previous project. You have played Hocus Pocus for me, I think.
Yeah, I did, and I sort of hesitated to put that one on, and I did it again because it's a picture disc, and I think we're here to talk about records, and I just think it's always fun to have picture disc. I don't know what you think about. Is it a gimmick? Is it affecting the quality or not? I don't know.
It's pretty cool.
It's just a fun thing, right?
I personally don't like go out to get it, but
no, me neither. But I've got one. That's the only one I've got, actually, I think. And I love this band. It's a hip hop-ish band from France, Hocus Pocus. And this record, I think, sums up a lot of who they are. So on one side, they've got their track, which is their track. And then the other side is a track with a featuring band from America called the Pocus. And on top of that, you also have a bonus scratch track, because some of the members of this band are DJs, which I strongly recommend again to look at. They won the DMC World Championship several times, and they call C2C. I think that might be the track I've played with you before. And they're all about records. They're very skilled in what they do. Again, it's a wholesome experience because the look is also done by the main DJ called Vincent, who's also very good, a French guy. And I don't know. I just thought that summed up a lot of interesting things about being creative and records themselves as an object, as well as the support of the new music. So it's a beautiful object. It's an object that it can be a tool as a DJ. That's why there's the scratch track. And they've also produced vinyls that I also have, which are sample and scratch specific. So there's no tunes on it. It's just stuff to use to do some scratch and hip hop style type of music. Yeah, and probably English speakers will find that a little bit cheesy, the track that I choose with the percussion, but it's in English, so then you can, you know, understand a little bit about what they're talking about. It's, I guess, a tribute to hip hop. So let's do it.
One sec.
Check it out, y'all. The percussion's in the house, y'all. Hocus Pocus in the house, y'all.
Je suis tombé sur un vieux clip de grand master flash. Hey, t'as vu ce type? Et ça dégaine de buzz. Là, j'ai décidé, son style m'a fusillé.
Wow, the sound doesn't make honor to the music.
À l'époque, celle de Francis Lala. Je sais que c'est un classique, mais commentaire. Si c'est ça nos origines vestimentaires, pas que, regarde ce qu'on porte dans les clips. En fait, nos sables sont toujours aussi cheap. Les diamants énormes sur les
It's cool riff.
So they're really good at sampling and catching and building a new music from sampling. They're really technicians, they're really good. The band itself has a couple of DJs and then musicians in it. So the drum, bass, guitar, keyboard. And what they're talking about is all the cliches of hip hop.
Not just a habit, it's a b-boy mentality deeper than any cavity. Way beyond passion or any kind of a salary. A quick elixir mixed with a heavy dose of reality. It's too complicated for the minds outside. The lines drawn when the volume of drums gets over 9. I'm a part of a movement, not meant for the clueless. Use this in your curriculum.
And that's a bit old school hip hop, you know, obviously. It's inspired by that in the 90s.
And how we unfolded, travel down the road that every genre must walk down. Hip hop's upon the legend, yo, it needs to be talked down. The renaissance to an untimely death, the revival of a culture, a survival of a soldier rocked by the common people of poverty in need. I'm a voice, it's a who God let the world see. Yo, you must be out of your mind if you think the way you dress will serve to help the way you rhyme. Some people put their image first and self is left behind. So when you search within the verse, it's best that you be blind. You're remarkably.
You can see Public Enemy there on the record. That's Public Enemy. With the clock.
You're better off just being who you're supposed to be.
Big clock on the neck.
Is it Flavor Flav? Probably good. No. Flavor Flav? Flavor Flav? Does he wear the clock? Is he probably good?
Pretty sure. I mean, I'm not a hip hop specialist by any way, but I'm pretty sure it's Public Enemy. I don't know what the name of the guy is.
There was like a Boston Celtics game where Flavor Flav sang the anthem. It's pretty cool.
Kiffer un truc, c'est déjà démodé, au moment où j'écris, c'est Air Force One et baggy jean. Mais à la fin de ce couplet, ce sera déjà has-been. On portera de masque aux States, ils portaient hier. La France, pays de la mode, on en est pourtant fiers. Oh oh, j'suis pas dans trip fashion, ni haute couture, les grosses fourrures. Puis quand c'est notre culture, j'fouille dans mes bacs, plutôt dans ma garde-robe. J'fais du son, ouais, et pas un défilé de mode. Les diamants énormes sur les lobes. Les aspects qui oublient leur robe.
Big egos and big chains. Hip hop, I think it's on the side of your brain.
Hip hop, laisse ça extra, extra live. Hip hop, j'ai dit extra, extra live. Hip hop,
quick money and fast rides. Hip hop, just a good feeling inside. You see a one for the triple, two for the nine. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Hands everybody. If you got what it takes. Say one for the triple, two for the main. So come on, let's rock.
I'm not really one to seek out hip hop, but when people show it to me, I always enjoy the things I'm shown.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a hip hop person to start with, and I came to hip hop very late. I think what I really like about this band is that there is an instrumental approach to the music, and I think that's what I told you before. It's one of those bands that really brought me to hip hop by the hand, and like appreciating more of its culture, even though it's so far away from my lived experience in some other way. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting band. I don't know if they play anymore. I'm not sure. They might not. Hocus Pocus.
Cool artwork. Show us the back artwork too. That was really cool when it starts spinning.
Yeah, it's a fun little item for record nerds, which I thought.
Would you apply? Would you think you're one of those?
No, I mean I do like records, and I mean I would buy records every day for sure if I had the money and the space. But I think it's good to have a bit of nerdery around it. I mean,
I feel like it is like a medium for nerds.
Yeah, I think it's just that the objects that is so nice, because there is a care of the aesthetic as an artistic project. So it's not just the music, it's also what comes with it and how it is packaged together. And this one is a very unusual one because it's not really a full album. It's just basically 2 tracks with instrumental at the back of it, plus this scratch track that I was talking about. That's it. So it's just 2 tracks. So it's a little bit of a experimental thing with the picture disc element. But yeah, I'm not one to seek the original edition or
first
whatever.
Press?
No, it's more about if it's not to scratch and it's a good record. It's just, yeah, I get it.
Have you tried to scratch with it?
No, and actually I've bought a record player too. Like I'm gonna try, and I got a mixer and everything, and I never really got into it. I only got 1 turntable and never went into the second one.
So you've told me, like, in terms of buying records, you're more of you want records to have some sort of significance.
Yes.
You don't want to be buying anything willy-nilly.
No, I mean otherwise I would just fill my whole home with records, because there's so many that I want. But I think having that
Control.
line, that line where it needs to have some connection. It's connection with someone you know. It's a connection because you've seen the band, and so you buy the record at the end. It's a record you want to buy because it's linked. The music is linked to a time in your life that just sort of is meaningful. And then I guess I would make an exception to that, is to those like really landmark records like the Ladysmith that are just so. You're going to go back to it because it's so powerful that you might over-listen to it for a few months or a few years and then stop and then come back to it and again get enjoyment out of it, because it's just that, depth of what it brings to you. So those ones, the classics, I would buy any day.
So it kind of goes from being a classic to then having that impact. Rather than the other way around.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, it's a fine line. I'm just also trying to manage my impulse of buying too many records.
I've been there. I've seen it when you've had to do some math.
Yeah, it's just like you're just holding on. No, I don't want to buy this because
The devil on the shoulder.
Yeah, look, it's just so fun and so nice, and it's nice to have that object. I guess it's a materialistic thing, but. I really enjoy listening to an album, and even when I'm using Spotify a lot, as you know, and I really try to stick to albums, because I think it's such a rip-off for artists just to listen to a couple of their songs or the most listened to. It just strips them from their artistic input about what they have to say at the time and how that is packaged for the audience, for you, as a person, as a listener, and it's such a I guess a way to balance that consumption of next playlist, and that's why I rarely buy records that are compilations, which takes me to the next one. But yes, it has to be a really good one for me to get it. Otherwise, it's someone else's view and point, but it's not linked to the artist, if you see what I mean.
Some of these compilations, though, it's like, you're never going to find this album.
True. True. That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'm not against compilations, but I usually steer away from them because there's always like a bait. There's a really good track you want to get, and then you know the other 10 songs are good, but not that as much that you want to listen to them several times a year. You know. See what I mean?
I know what you mean. And the final selection.
Okay.
As teased earlier. Cumbia.
So when you asked me to choose 5 records, this one came first in. So it's a compilation, which I've bought. I can't even remember where I bought it, to be honest. I think I bought it in Newtown. It's a cumbia combination. And for me, it's I always enjoy that record, those records. It's true, because I think it really takes you by the hand to that style.
It did that for me. You took me by the hand,
and
there was no turning back. Still going.
It's still going. So
it's only about to begin.
I'm so glad that that it really grabbed your attention and part of your heart in a way. Yeah, I think it's a meaningful record for me to play today. Has to be, you know, like it's meant to be.
When I was getting, like I said earlier, I was getting into world music, a lot of African stuff, and you're like, if you like African stuff, you'll love this stuff. And you're correct.
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's an obvious connection between African and South American music, obviously. That said, it's a very Latin style.
Yeah.
I guess it's percussion driven. It's got some very distinctive style and yet so much freedom around it in some other way. The track I've chose for this one is La Subienda.
That's my favorite. Did you know that's my favorite?
No.
I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I love La Subienda too, as well.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the track we match.
But this whole compilation is amazing.
It's a good one, yeah. So
it's a Fuentes compilation, which is like the Colombian. I don't know. If you talk about cumbia, it's like they've got pretty much everything on their label. They put out everything.
Yeah, so Discos Fuente, and this compilation is a word circuit presentation. It says 2012. It's a UK press. Yeah.
I think I've mentioned maybe on my Instagram, like what I like about the big band cumbia is has all the bits of like the horns, the catchy drums, but then it's got like the Latin rhythm, and that's what like takes it over the edge. Like I don't think I could listen to big band music every day, but I have listened to cumbia like every day, and it's just rhythm driven. But then the melodies are so catchy.
That's right. It's very melodic.
Super.
That's the thing. And you sent me one just the day before yesterday, saying I'm excited to do this today, and I listened to that, and I thought how melodic as well. The track that you sent me, I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was either.
But it just had that. It had the rhythm, the structure, you had the melody, and you had also some wacky like sound like
yeah.
It just sounded fun and catchy, as you say, catchy, very catchy.
Yeah, it's very hooky. Like if you want to focus on the drums, you can like lock in on that. If you want to focus on the melody of the horns or the flute or the guitar in the Peruvian ones, you can get lost in it.
Yeah.
For that 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm so glad that we can share that together.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that La Subienda was your fave. So
yeah.
There you go. It's meant to be. Let's aim it right.
Oh, first go.
De una noche sin lucero, pa' un pescador que no siente porque es más grande. grande su anhelo. Amanecer con pescado para vender en el mercado. Amanecer con pescado para vender en el mercado.
I love the also the very Latin like whoop, yepa. There's always like someone
Like the hype man.
that brings you in as well. It's like, oh, you're here with me.
En el río El Venidero llegó el maná ribereño, el que consuma mi sueño. Llegó el maná ribereño, el que consuma mi sueño. Un abrazo para el viejo Beni. ¡Yepa! Y que llegue la Subienda, río abajo. No le temo a noche oscura, que llueva un relampague. Mi lucero son los peces que en mis redes pataleen. Cuando pase la Subienda, te queda plata pa' tienda, con el pescado que venda. Cuando pase la Subienda. Ahí está el saborcito. Abre tu atarraya. ¡Yepa! El Boca Chico es astuto, como que sabe escribir. Él sabe el día que llega y cuándo debe partir. Me pone alegre en enero, me deja triste en abril. Cuando pase la Subienda, me queda plata pa' tienda. Amanece con pescado para vender en el mercado. Con él se acaba la empresa, con él se acaba el patrón. Yo mando con mi atarraya, yo mando con mi copón. Yo mando con mi atarraya, yo mando con mi copón. Llegó el maná ribereño, el que consuma mi sueño. Cuando pase la Subienda, me queda plata pa' tienda.
I've yet to see a live Cumbiambero.
¡Mira qué bonito!
I think it'd be really good.
¡Ay, qué rico! ¡Ay, qué rico!
There we go.
So what I was going to say before was, now that I've learned bits of Spanish and world music, before I didn't know what was going on. And there's like bits and pieces I'm picking up and I'm like, now that I know what they're singing about, it's not that it's losing its appeal, but it's a very different listening experience.
I don't even know what they're singing about. I don't even know what this song is about.
Subienda is like Solitude, I think.
Uh-huh.
And I was listening first. If I tune in, I could like hear it, and it was like he's talking about like the sunrise. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, I just tune out again.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is, what, like the first one, which was maybe in, Bambara or some Western African language. I don't know, you don't really need to understand. I think the French are really good for that. and they don't understand a word of English or most of it, and it's just like what we call it yogurt singing. Yeah, and you know, it just go with the flow and with the vibe, and I think I really like that element. I mean, it's important to have meaning to a song, obviously. I really do think it's important in some ways, but it doesn't prevent you to enjoy it if you don't understand.
No. I think it's also nice to read what the intention of the artist was down the track.
Yes.
Let's look at it in their language.
After,
I don't have to understand it as long as they're presenting it in a way.
Hopefully it doesn't destroy your enjoyment of the music. It's a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about the Beatles, for example, some of those songs that are great songs, some of the greatest pop songs ever written, it's so dumb, you know. I say yes, you say no, you know, like, oh, it's like
Obla-dee, obla-da.
yeah, for example, yeah, like, you know, seriously, it's not very deep, isn't it? But it doesn't matter. It's a good song. It's just catchy. It just the vibe is there. And that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Well, I'm glad. I hope the waves won't, you know, interfere too much in the listener's experience.
It's part of the ambience.
Here we are in Sydney, North Shore,
McMahon's Point.
McMahon's Point, Memel Island across, and it's sunset time.
All right. Thanks, man.
No, pleasure. Thank you.
Catch you next time.
And I'm looking forward to hear and discover new things from all the people you're about to meet in your travels.
I'm looking forward to it too. All right. Thanks, man.
Cool.
See ya.
Bye.